All right, this homework is page 108. It is the review of operations with rational numbers. So remember, when you have a combination of fractions and decimals, before you add, subtract, multiply, or divide, you need to change them all to one common method or unit. So if I have fractions and decimals, I change either all my fractions to decimals or change all my decimals to fractions, so I can have a common unit to do my operation with. So number 1 says Chanasia has 8 7/75 gallons of paint. She wants to use 2/3 of the paint to paint her living room. How many gallons of paint will Chanasia use? So she's not using all of her paint. She's not using all 5/5 of the paint. She's only using 2/5 of it. So she's finding a part of a part. That means that we are going to multiply. Okay, to find part of a part. So I have two options. I can change 8 7/75 to a fraction and multiply my fractions, or I can change 2/5 to a decimal and multiply my decimals. Okay, so let's do 8 7/75. So I know that 8 7/75 is 8 as my whole number and 75 over 100. Okay, I can reduce that by dividing by 25. And that's going to give me 8 as my whole number still and 3/4. So I'm doing 8 3/4 times 2/5. Well, when I'm multiplying, I cannot leave my mixed number as is. I need to change it to an improper fraction. So 4 times 8 is 32. And 32 plus 3 is 35. So that's 35/4, and I'm still multiplying by 2/5. So 35 times 2 is 70, and 4 times 5 is 20. This is improper. So to change it to a mixed number, I need to use Taibou. 70 divided by 20. 20 goes into 70 3 times. 3 times 20 is 60. Subtract, I get 10. So I started with a fraction, so I'm not going to keep going. I'm going to leave it as 3 10/20. But I can reduce that. Divide by 10, and that gives me 1/2. So she uses 3.5. Gallons. So that's one way to do it. The other way I can do it is change 2/5 to a decimal. So I'll do it over here. 2, top in, bottom out. 2 divided by 5. 5 goes into 2 0 times. 0 times 5 is 0. Subtract, I get 2. Add that decimal. Bring it down. 5 goes into 24 times. All right, so 2/5 is 4/10. So this is the same as me doing 8 7/75 times 4/10. I move my decimal out once, twice, and 3 total times. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 7 is 28, plus 2 is 30. 4 times 8 is 32, plus 3 is 35. So then I move my decimal 3 spaces in. 1, 2, 3. And I have 3 5/10 gallons. Okay, and that's the same as 3.5 gallons. So either way will do. And for the rest of them, I'm not gonna do them all both ways. I'm just gonna pick a way and do it, and then the answer should still be the same, and you can see that here.